And then there is me. I know that this is now my best interest. So me versus society. Okay.
Don't let the script that you grew up knowing determine and identify who you become.
To fulfill purpose, it's not a straight road, because as you fulfill purpose, you're fulfilling your vision.
90% of what people say about you is closely related to who you are.
Okay.
90%. On a rare case, the people speak about what you do and it is not a reality.
Most people are not stuck because they're lazy. Most people are stuck because they're living their lives without a vision. When the year was starting, we were trying to see some of the 10 things that we can talk about. And we also had our first item on the things to do ahead of the start of the year. We had to develop a vision, have your own vision. And here is the most uncomfortable truth. If you don't decide your own vision, then the world is going to decide for you. Your family, your friends, your surroundings. And we've also seen that the environment also contributes to the influence factors that are around us. Well, today we are not going to talk about, the cute goals that we would want to see, the most comfortable things we would want to hear. Today we are talking about that long-term vision that is scary, that you feel like you're not going to pull off, or maybe that you think that is going to require a lot of you stepping out of your comfort zone. And I am not alone for this amazing talk. We are going to have a discussion. I'm being joined by my two colleagues. One, should we go with ladies first or gents first? Anyway, I'm going to start with my immediate neighbor. I have Arija Nancy. She is a student at Makerere University in her third year, pursuing a bachelor's in tourism and travel management. With her diverse knowledge of she does not only deal with humans, you see, also animals, and also the fact that she interacts more with, other people, and she is a good reader. This is a perfect, time for us to have someone of her caliber. Arija Nancy, thank you for coming, and we are so honored to have you amidst us.
Thank you for hosting me.
And then next, they always say you save the last for the best. I am being joined by one philosopher, an influencer that we've all seen, our mentor to most of the people, and we've also known him for speaking out the truth without, massaging or maybe having a second thought of what people are going to think. He speaks the truth the way it is. Our computer students will say it comes in a plain text. So the person I'm talking about, he is also a law student in her final year at Makerere University. He was 91st Guild Presidential Aspirant under the NUP ticket, and he is an inspiration to many people because he is this person who has not only focused on the youth people or the issues that are affecting us, but also the majority and, the world. So he cuts across. We are honored to have you, the one and only Mr. Basarira Ismail. Thank you for joining me on this show.
Thank you very much for hosting me.
All right, so we are going to immediately kickstart. I'm going to start with you, Mr. Basarira. What do you understand when someone tells you the word vision? What comes in your mind?
Thank you very much, moderator. Good morning to our viewers. I would kickstart from vision itself. I do believe vision is a long-term achievement that you want to canvas towards. And for anyone to have a vision, they should look and focus at long term. For example, when you look at schools, universities, and other institutions, even political parties, they have a vision. For example, those in opposition have a vision that one time they will lead this country. That's a vision. It's long term.
Yeah.
And then for the government in power, it has a vision that it will retain power and also canvas on making lives of citizens who voted for them have a better life. So a vision is long term. It cannot be achieved in one day. comes out of miles of days that become months, and then later years. So for anyone to have a vision, you should focus on the long-term achievements and how you will make it your way towards that vision. So the baby steps become normal walks. Then you later run. Then you settle at the achievement you want to achieve. That is how I understand vision, and that is how I want the viewers out there to align their minds towards.
Right. Over to you, Nancy. Do you agree with him or you would choose to differ?
Thank you so much, moderator. I don't think I would go as far, like so different from him. I think a vision is a long-term thing, like he said, something that gives you direction, something that helps you answer the question of why am I here, something that gives you an evidence, I don't know how to call it, but something that you see and you feel like you're making progress. It can be an impact you want to create. And that's why we see many companies, if you go to a company, they'll tell you this is our mission, this is our vision, these are our goals, and these are the things we want to do every day to achieve our vision. And when you're to look at maybe these big brands like CJ's, I'm very sure when they were starting, they had a vision, and it's going to outlive the owner. It's going to go on and on and on. So when you talk about a vision, I think about something that is long-term and that fulfills you as you create impact on the world, on people. Yeah.
Okay, so what I picked from both of you, a vision is a long-term, like commitment. Yeah. So she also spoke about like having goals or something. As we proceed with the conversation, we are going to also identify what is a goal and how can we define it from a vision. But I want to ask each one of us, straight up, when you were starting to understand things, did you like start living with your vision, or you've ever lived a life without a vision? In no particular order, I'll start with Nancy to give me her perspective, then we can converse about it.
All right. Thank you so much. I don't think while growing up I had a personal vision, like a vision as to myself, because everything was relevant. Everything was relevant. Like everything made sense to me. Like everything aligned with me, and of course, I realized later on that this wasn't making sense, because if everything is relevant, then where am I going? Growing up, you'd become a child, you're in your parents' home, and they tell you, you have to go to this school, and they tell you have to do this course because it's selling, or that's why you'll get money. You have to behave this way. Girls don't talk like this.
You don't put on like
They don't put on like this. Everything was already defined for me, and I had to live off a script, something I would say. But then as I grew, I found out that everything was relevant, and I had to really find out specific things that would be relevant only to me. And that means I had to cut out all other things, and then amidst all the noise, I had to pick out the noise that made sense to me and leave out the rest. So that's how I started asking questions, having conversations with myself. And I was asking myself questions I couldn't answer. And I was like, where am I heading off to? And that's when I sat down and I was like, I have to really be specific, know where I'm going, and start off.
Okay, interesting. When you spoke about, everything was predefined, you didn't have a say because everything was making sense. It drove me to another perspective. Yeah. We have seen people living borrowed visions of other people. Maybe because that inspires me, he speaks the truth. I want to emulate his way. So now I choose to live his vision because maybe he inspires me or because I want to be like him. What is the cost of living a borrowed vision, Mr. Ismail?
Thank you very much. I will again pick it from where she said and speak to what we call colonialism.
Okay.
We have colonialism. The colonialists, when they came here, they gave us identity and made what we believed in look very bad for us. And it is on that reason that we are interesting people in a concept called decolonialism.
Mhm.
We should identify, we should know exactly what we are meant for.
Mm.
For example, like she said, growing up, we lived with our parents who determine exactly,
I think they still really good.
yes, exactly what they wanted us to become.
Yeah.
And we have come to realize that the things we are passionate and we are good at a later stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in Africa, most people die without realizing their ability because we are living in a borrowed vision.
Mm.
Because your parent wants you to become a lawyer, your parents want you to become a doctor, they want you to become very many things that they fancy for you because they believe they have the best interest for you. For us, yes, for us in law, we say there is what we call the best interest of a child.
Okay.
So the parents have the best interest of a child, but also the child, when they grow up, they realize they have the best interest for themselves. You get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So when you realize the best interest for yourself, then you have identity of exactly what you want to achieve, and even the surrounding where we are, where we grew up from, and the people that we interact with determine exactly what we become.
Mm.
I can give you an example of myself. I went to present a paper somewhere, and after presenting that paper, a lady in the audience told me that you can make a good lawyer.
Mm.
It's something that I had in me, but it's something that I'd never given a
Realize.
never given a try.
Mm.
So when she told me about that, she brought out the inner me that believed I could make a lawyer
Okay.
into reality. It's the reason that I joined law school,
Okay.
and I'm exiting 4 years later
Sure.
as a lawyer. So I attribute what I am becoming
Mm.
to her discovery,
Mm.
because she discovered exactly someone I can be. So why am I saying this? People see ability in us that we don't see.
Mm.
People realize we can do very many things that we don't see. These are our friends. These are the community we're in, and the society, that the people that we meet.
Mm.
So sometimes it is good to listen to dissenting opinions.
Okay. Because now when you speak about that, I am now confused. Okay, not confused, but I've seen most of us be confused. We tend to have a conflict of interest between what our peers say and our parents because they have our best interest at heart. And then there is me. I know that this is now my best interest. So me versus society, we always have that conflict. How can we, tolerate the input that is coming in from, around the discerning opinions of people?
You see, 90% of what people say about you is closely related to who you are.
Okay.
90%. On a rare case, do people speak about what you do and it is not a reality. For example, I can give an example about myself.
Mm.
People have told me that I share interesting stories,
Sure.
that I speak and people feel so happy. And these are the things that I had never realized because I genuinely speak. I genuinely talk. I genuinely converse with people. I share knowledge. But people have told me that they have picked interest in whatever I say. So it means that 90% of the audience out there has realized that I can create an impact through speaking and giving advice. So it is something that I cannot let go as a person, because the population has believed that if I take that direction, I can create an impact to society and myself. And the course that I've studied is law. It gives you ability to speak, to see, identify, and speak about anything. So that is why I always tell people that for me joining Makerere University and my level at which I am at an exiting point, I'm leaving Makerere University learned, confident, and more so, I always say more so determined, and focused. And I've met people who have rediscovered my identity and what I can do.
Okay.
So mostly, like I've said, these decent opinions are very good in life. For us in law, we have Lord Denning. He was in the UK. Most of the things that we study today that have created sense were his dissent opinions. He dissented from the opinions of fellow judges by that time. So the dissent opinions have made sense. So listen to the dissent opinions, believe in yourself, canvas that small sector that people are seeing you're good at. Before you know, you are top there.
Okay.
Don't let the script that you grew up knowing determine and identify who you become. Society also blends in. The people we meet and the environment itself determines who you become.
Right.
Yes.
So don't be rigged. In life, never be rigged. I never say never in life.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Now, when I cross over to Nancy, he ended with an interesting take of don't be rigged. Yeah, be flexible. But we have seen most of us choose to focus on one thing. You're doing tourism. Now you want everything that comes your way. Let me say, even if there is an event at campus and you're invited as a speaker, let me say we have guidance and counseling, but you're not counseling people who are in tourism, but maybe how to conduct themselves when the people come around and the likes. You don't go there. So, do you think having one focal point in life is a success, or does it contribute to one's vision, or should we be diverse?
Thank you so much, Nkuru. When you talk about a broad vision, that's like looking yourself in a room and it has all the things you like, and you're like, I want to move out. If the room has, let's say, something that is your favorite, and you want to move out to explore the rest of the world, and that means that you have you don't want to be exposed, and most of the times we discover who we are when we are exposed. Like my fellow speaker said, you have to listen to people's opinions and find out what you are good at. Because most of the times you don't know I'm good at this thing. Maybe you go somewhere, you're speaking, but you're telling stories, and someone tells you, by the way, you are good at storytelling, and you can monetize and start making money from storytelling. You can do a podcast, you can be a speaker, you can be a mentor, and all those things. So wanting to be in only one place, I'd say that it does not help you discover who you are, because self-discovery comes with many things like self-awareness, like knowing who you are and what you are good at. So if you are to narrow yourself down and you don't want to allow your wings to flap and fly and do the mistakes and learn, then you are not doing something that will fulfill you one day. To fulfill purpose, it's not a straight road, because as you fulfill purpose, you're fulfilling your vision, and you're going to make mistakes on the way. You learn from the mistakes and you get back right up and you continue moving. And another thing that I want to talk about are the opinions. 90% of the things your parents tell you, your friends in your circle, they'll be like, oh my God, Nkuru, you're good at this. And it's really true, but listen to those people who don't like you. Sometimes what they tell you in something like they're abusing you, they're actually telling you the truth. But instead of picking something that will help you, something that you can polish up, then you choose to be emotional. And if they're abusing you, pick the constructive criticisms. It's okay, you can tell me this and that, but at least I'll know better that then I can work on it.